Good luck. You'll need it.
it.
And here we go, cards. Mr. Dino on the left versus TapatioJ on the right. Match 5 of tonight. First game of this best of 5 set. Let's go.
And we start off with the Razor Shield for both different strats. We have right side strats for Mr. Dino, south side strats for Tapatio, and then both of them go for the middle. We'll see who comes out with the whole shot here. Is it going to be Dino or is it going to be Taps? As this room comes to an end, it's going to be Mr. Dino.
Yeah, it's going to be Dino early on here in game number 1. And the difference in where that Razor Shield shows up in the first room cards is just a difference between console and emulator. Dino playing on console, Taps, and one of the only remaining emulator stalwarts from the early days.
Absolutely, and Dino had a sub 40 going in there. That's a hot time here, and he gets a Razor Shield, but okay, here we go. And an orb to go with it. Oh my goodness.
But not to be outdone, a Razor Shield for Taps, but not an orb to follow up, just an invulnerability. And now rockets for Dino, the rich getting richer early on here, cards.
Oh, they certainly are here. And look at this.
That's a hot
118.
118! Dino on fire early on in game number 1.
Yeah, anything under 80 seconds is what I consider a hot time going into Eat My Shrapnel. Now he's got rockets to go with it, and a Razor Shield. Look at these drops for Dino.
The rich getting richer so far here, cards fan. Dino getting everything he needs. Taps is going to have to do a more unorthodox shrapnel room. He does get those rockets. That is going to barely get the room under control when he had 4 on screen.
My goodness gracious. Dino getting more rockets, and he's going to have almost a full clip at 201 to take with him to total carnage.
Yeah, absolutely. Taps electing to pick up that spreader to finish off the room with and at least have an interesting weapon going into the next room. Taps does not have that orb. Dino controlling the middle beautifully with the orb so far. Picks up the smart bomb. Maybe a little presumptuous on that cards, but it allows him to keep that center.
Yeah, in a tournament race situation, yeah, that smart bomb he decided to ignore because, he wasn't getting over him. Now another decision. What is Mr. Dino going to do? Whoa! Use the orb to block that shrapnel. That was a close call.
That was a very, very close call, cards. It almost looked like that one wasn't intentional, not to doubt one of our top runners here, but very interesting there. But now both runners set up with a Razor Shield and an orb. Taps behind entering the room and is going to be behind exiting it. It's a 302 for Dino into the bonus room cards.
Yeah, that's a really good time, but Tapatio is still in the running. We've got a 312, just 10 seconds back, and I'll tell you what, we've got some Taco Bell product placement with Taco Bell.
Ooh, yeah.
Perfect. Now these drops coming up here in Tank Trouble are going to mean everything. Dino looking for those rockets or maybe a smart bomb, but it's a foot in a horrific spot.
Yeah, that is just about the worst initial drop you could see in Tank Trouble. Well, honestly, any non-good drop in a bad position is pretty much the worst there. But Dino, with good movement, patience, gets rewarded with third drop rockets and controls the center. Very admirable play here, cards.
Meanwhile, Tapatio decided to give up the orb in lieu of taking out the gunners with the invulnerability, and he gets a replacement. He's in a good grab there, good dancing as well. Tapatio gets the middle back. Wow, nice moves.
Yeah, great movement around the top of the room, knowing that the door's closed, nothing's coming out there.
Oh, and then he misses with the rocket.
But then he loses the orb. He's got rockets, though, and picks up the smart bomb. It's not the end of the world. Rockets by themselves, you can at least keep the clip longer than with the orb, but it's definitely going to be Dino ahead going into Mutoid Man with a hot 429.
Yeah, unfortunately, Dino actually died towards the end of the room, so he lost some of that lead. But the problem is Tapatio's not really taking advantage of it, but he's definitely in the mix. He's going to be about 19 seconds back.
Yeah, 19 seconds back. It's not an insurmountable lead. We've seen the drops on Mutoid Man, even just tonight, swing ever so wildly in the opponent's favor. And so far, Dino getting nothing but empty drops. Meanwhile, Taps gets a first drop spreader and is at least able to take advantage of that early Mutoid vulnerability.
Get it! He got it! Nice grab there by Tapatio, just as the lobber was about to expire. And then another spreader! Can he get through it, or will he be blocked?
He wisely walks into the mine. He's going to get it, Cards. He's going to get it.
Here's the problem, though. The gunners are still attached. He's not going to get as much spreader as he wants. Now the gunners are both down. If he gets another spreader, he could win this. We're literally even.
Yeah, this is dead even. One arm down for both. Both!
2 arms down for both!
2 arms exploding at the same time. We're in a dead heat, Cards. Slight advantage to Dino with the lobbers over the rockets. Taps is, however, going to be able to pick up some follow-up grenades. It's a
Dino going to have to go for a manual. Now he's playing on the US. Oh, but look at this spreader!
Then they're the gift spreader. He's just going to die. Forget that spreader. This is the one you want. Dino pops the head, continues to pound it in. It's final form for Dino. Huge lead here. He just needs the drops to finish this off. Penultimate form for Taps. Oh my lord, Cards, this could be so close. Will this lobber do it?
Should do it for Dino, provided that he lands his shots here. Tapatio doing everything he can with what the game has given him, but it's going to be not enough. Dino wins!
Dino is going to take it. He gets a spreader, attempts to manual it, but then the game gives him a better spreader. He takes the death, knowing the situation, grabs it, deals 2 forms of damage, huge amounts of transfer damage.
Tap
very
trying.
Takes this first game as Taps, unfortunately, getting the exact opposite end of the spectrum on luck. It's still going to be a low 7 for Taps, but what looks like a half-minute deficit, it was a much closer race than that, folks. It came down to one immaculate spreader for Mr. Dino, but he is going to take game number 1. Taps is not going to take this lying down. It's a best of 5. We've seen how close they are. I think we're in for another 4 awesome races here, Cards.
Certainly indeed. And yeah, if Dino doesn't get that immaculate spreader location right there, it would have been a lot closer. Dino might have still won, but it would have been a lot closer than 30 seconds.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That spreader was the giftiest of gift spreaders. Right in front of the door, right next to Mutoid Man. Doesn't even matter that you already have the spreader ammo in your possession. You see that, you identify that situation, you take the death, and you take advantage. Beautiful play by Mr. Dino, and that's why he's up 1-0 right now, Cards.
No question about it. I'm looking for the signal for both runners. Tapatio is ready. Just double checking on Mr. Dino. And when he's ready, we will start game number 2.
Oh, it's about time, Cards. That 10 seconds between games was making me just a little bit anxious there, wanting to see the action continue.
Oh, absolutely. No question about it here. We're, again, just waiting for Mr. Dino to ready up, and once he's ready up, I will count him down.
Perfection. So I'm starting to wonder what all of our viewers are thinking about this match. Does Mr. Dino take this 1-0 advantage and take the victory, or does Taps win 3 out of 4 in order to take it back?
This is a tough one. I'm looking for Taps to not up the score, but if the RNG continues to give the gifts that it gave Mr. Dino, he may be down 0-2.
It certainly could happen, Cards. It was really close going into the boss room at the very least. And both of them playing quite well. We're just going to have to see what happens as we get underway with game number 2.
Unfortunately, Mr. Dino started his clock a little bit late, so we're going to have to rely on Tap's clock for this one.
Yeah, a little bit of a late start. It happens from time to time. It's not the end of the world. If necessary, we will make the frame count adjustments at the end, but this is definitely not a 32-second room for Mr. Dino. That is better than the TAS and is impossible.
Second and a half lead, it was about a 40 and a quarter for Mr. Dino, about a 41 and 3/4 for Taps. Going into collect power-ups, first drop coming up for Dino, and vulnerability. Vulnerability for both, nothing to write home about.
Well, we're at least keeping it even on the drops so far, but an orb in the center of the room for Dino.
Taps does get a Razor Shield, but once again, just like in game number 1, the early drops have been favoring Dino.
Yeah, Dino going to take that Smart Bomb. Maybe didn't need it right away. Only one Shrappy in the room, but gets rewarded with rockets. And this is going to be another hot finish
Holy
for Dino
Toledo! No, it's 123. It looks better. We got to remember.
It looks better than it is, yes. But still a very, very good collect power-up rooms for Mr. Dino. Both have an orb, though, which is exactly what we want to see, cards.
That was getting dicey for Tapatio. That swirl was coming after him fast.
I am not exactly sure how Taps got himself out of that predicament, but he's sitting fine now with a Razor Shield to take care of the Swarmers as he focuses on those shrapnels. Dino with an orb should be perfectly fine to keep the room under control. Taps looks like he's looking for somewhere to dump his Razor Shield. Too aggressive on the shots, though, so he's going to take, that about a 3rd-second penalty as Dino loses the orb right away. Oh, unfortunate.
That's the problem. You can't move at the beginning of that room. You have to fire up, north, down, left, right, whatever. You have to stay put. If you move, you're losing that orb.
There's a replacement orb for Dino. He's at least able to get it, but that is at least a few seconds that are going to go back into Taps' favor here, cards.
It was 4 seconds, It was 4 seconds coming in. 4 seconds coming in. It was too
great shrapnel dodges for Dino, and he's rewarded with a Razor Shield, both sitting with an orb and a Razor Shield. This is the optimal setup. You'll love to see it, cards, both on pace for really great entries into the bonus room.
And rockets on the feet now for Tapatio, followed by a Smart Bomb. Not quite the end of the room, though. A little bit left to go for Taps. Dino doing the best he can, and we do have a lead change, but not by much.
It's going to be Taps, not by a whole lot, cards, but Taps very slightly ahead now.
I mean, maybe a quarter or a third of a second. That's how close it is right now, as we have, Taco Bell, product placement with Taco Bell.
Yeah. Oh.
Beautiful. We got ourselves a slobber knocker of a game here. Taps, first one into tank trouble by just a fraction of a second. Rockets to start for Tapatio.
Smart Bomb for Dino, both getting great early drops. Dino not quite able to get both of the gunners out there, but does get a spreader, control the middle, and now rockets for Dino. That'll take care of the other gunner. Taps picks up the Smart Bomb in total control of the center. Oh my lord, cards. This is so dead even, it's impossible to call. Dino loses the orb, though.
He does indeed. Tapatio, though, getting dangerous with that orb. The purple shirts are coming for him. He's losing control of that middle. Somehow, some way, he's kept that orb healthy. Now he gets rockets.
Taps is dancing the cha-cha-cha like an absolute madman. Keeps the orb. Keeps going here.
How did he keep that orb
going to be Dino. Dino is going to get out first. What is this sorcery, cards?
It's literally a second, though. Maybe a second and a half for Dino. I have no idea how Dino kept the lead.
The timer's out of sync, but they're so close. This is going to come down to drops and execution on Mutoid. Early grenades for Taps, at least able to get rid of the gunners.
An empty drop, though!
An empty drop for Taps and a first drop lobber for Dino. Putting some damage in there is going to knock out the arm, but both of those gunners still alive.
Tapatio's got a long ways to go.
It's going to be so close if he can get it. Yes! He does! He gets it, cards.
That had to be last frame grab there. I did not think he was going to get that.
Neither did I, but Taps gets it, and both of the arms are gone. Follow-up lobber here. Taps pounding it in. Empty drop. Both of them with their arms gone. Who's going to pop that chest first? It's going to be Taps, but I don't think Dino is too far behind here.
You're
and
right.
Yes, it's about a 4-second advantage for Taps right now. This match is insane, Cards.
It is. It could come down to another spreader or who lands their shots better as Dino gets shot and will not get to that lobber. Tapatio will further extend his lead.
Both of the heads are popped. Tap still trying to pop in those lobbers. Mutoid in that awkward no-man zone.
Oh, look at this! Dino with the spur! He'll be able to get
Spider
it!
for Dino! He gets it! Oh my god, this is going to be so close. Empty drop for Taps. And another spreader for Dino. Rockets for Taps, though. Oh, no! It's Dino! Is it Dino?
It is Dino, yes!
I think it's Dino! It's hard to tell. The timers are to sync, but oh my god, what a race.
6:14 will be the time for Mr. Dino. He wins. Tapatio, he puts up a 6:24. That's only 18 seconds from his personal best, and he still loses.
Oh my absolute good, sweet Jesus, Cards. What on earth did we just watch?
We watched the game take away a tie from TapatioJ. That's what we just saw. He was in full control of this match, and all it took was one spreader. Dino got maximum output on the transfer damage and stole it away from Tapatio, and now Taps back to the wall.
Taps back to the wall, down 2-0. But if anyone can pull off a reverse sweep, I think Taps is going to be your guy here. These matches have been exceedingly close. The skill has been just point on between both players. It's just going to come down to drop luck, Cards. It's like we said when they went into Mutoid, so close in this race. Whoever gets the better drops is going to be the one who wins, and I think that is going to continue here into Game 3. It's not over for Taps. He has a very large hole to somehow dig up Stupid himself out of, but not impossible.
Here's the thing, Jack. The first two matches, which I thought were going to be close and not be sweeps, ended up being sweeps. I think Dino's going to get it done here in game number 3. That's my prediction. If there's any moderators in here, I love to see a channel prediction right here.
Well, we know Mr. Dino is not able to do so as he is in the race right now, but I would love to see a channel prediction and just to see what all of the viewers think here. Not even can Taps come back and win the game, but is there going to be a game 4? Cards, I'm going to be devil's advocate to you and say, yes, there is. I think Taps can take this game and force at least a game number 4.
See, I hope it happens. See, my heart wants it to go to a 4th game, but my gut tells me Dino finishes the job. But hopefully I'm wrong, because we'd love to see some more matches here. But in any event, here we go. Game number 3.
And more importantly, this time, Cards, the timers are synchronized correctly. Dino starting his time on time, so we can have a better idea of who is ahead, who's behind, who's playing good, who's playing less good, and also, I don't know.
For a moment, I thought you were going to call Dino Daimler Chrysler.
It did come into my mind, but the syllables didn't line up, so I stopped talking.
Right. Tapatio does have the whole shot going in to collect power-ups here. He needs a good opening drop here. We got to give him something. He gets a foot. Nothing to write home about. Dino, rockets.
Rockets for Dino. That's the primo drop here. I mean, everyone loves to see that early orb, but if you get rockets, empty drop, and another set of rockets, you're in to eat my shrapnel at like a 113. Keep the rockets going. Worry about getting the orb in the next room.
Absolutely.
While not getting anything to work here, Grenade's in a bad position. He's just going to pound away. And now, an orb for Dino, the rich getting richer cards.
This is starting to get ridiculous here. 128 for Dino is going to be in the lead. Taps has done nothing wrong. The game has given him nothing to work with. 135.
Taps plays the game perfectly fine and is looking at a 135 into Eat My Shrapnel.
And he's orbless as well.
That is perhaps a larger injustice than... Actually, I shouldn't say that. But the point is, it's really unfair.
It most certainly is here, and Taps is doing everything he can. Does manage to get the orb. He needed that.
Yeah, late orb for Taps, but the thing is, Taps kept the room under control up to there. Never forced shrapnels on screen. He's going to have to worry about the swarmers as he finishes it off, but he shouldn't lose any additional time over what he already lost in collect power-ups.
Dino with rockets to close. He had the little rockets left. Tapatio has a little bit of weapon left. He has a full clip of the spreader, so that'll be nice. Full clip of
spreader. He picked it up after the final kill. And a razor shield for Taps.
Uh-oh.
And Dino dropped it. It could be the swing we need, cards.
Absolutely here. Tapatio going for the spreader here. Regain control of the middle, keeping that razor shield intact. Another spreader. Good weapon drops he's getting. Dino with the rockets. He needs everything he can get at this point because the longer he goes without an orb, Tapatio's going to cut into that lead, maybe 10.
Two back rockets for Dino. If he can get there, he does. Not in the greatest position.
Oh, and look at this! Another orb!
And now an orb for Dino.
Wow! Another razor shield! Are you kidding me? Just when you thought Tapatio was going to gain the edge, Dino keeps his lead. It's a 3-12. Tapas has definitely gained ground. It's down to a 5-second lead. Taco Bell. Product
placement with Taco Bell. And you know what, cards? You know what? If Taps was just a little bit luckier on that nuke, we could be dead even there. It looked like he grabbed it at the end of the room, but a few more swarmers just creeped out there to ensure that Dino still has a very slight lead going into tank trouble. This first drop is going to be all important. It's a nuke for Dino. He can at least get rid of one of the gunners. Invulnerability for Taps, less useful. Taps fights his way into the corner and can at least get rid of one of the gunners. Maybe two now with this spreader. So it's all down to room control now, Taps. The gunner's gone for both. Rockets for Taps and a foot for Dino.
That was a good dodge of that bullet there. That one stray bullet from that tank before it died.
Oh, what a great play by Taps. He holds off on picking up the rockets. There's another rocket. He dances around the mine and picks it up. Vitamin R flowing for Taps here in game number 3.
And guess what? We have a lead change.
A massive lead change. Taps from about 7 seconds behind is now about 5 seconds ahead.
Come on, Taps. 91-second mutoid, man.
That's all he needs for a PB, cards. It could totally happen.
Sub 6. I'm going sub 6. PB, I want sub 6.
Absolutely. Let's get it done. Well, these rockets are not the ideal drop to start things out there.
Actually, rockets I think are a great drop to start, because you can get rid of the gunners, but then after that, you want those spreaders.
Yeah, absolutely, cards. I totally agree with you. It's nice to get rid of those gunners early.
Oh, no!
Oh, Tap gets zapped going for just...
Still we'll get to it, but we do have another retake. And now another spreader. But he recognizes it too late. A missed opportunity, but another spreader.
But now a gift for Dino on the opposite side of the room.
What? Are you kidding me?
Vulnerability left.
Are you kidding me?
We're not kidding you, cards.
There's an empty drop.
Favoring the favorites. The chest is popped for Dino. Tap finally gets his first arm, despite being the first into Mutoid Man.
Yeah, Dino's been getting all the...
There's a spreader for Taps, though. It's not over yet, and he's going to get it.
Oh, and invulnerability would be huge right now.
Taps caught in no man's land, in between all of Mutoid Man's hitboxes. We got a glitch-toid. You'll love to see that. Another spreader for Taps.
Oh my goodness! It's Final Four for Taps. He got sabotaged! He got sabotaged!
He got sabotaged, yes, cards, but it's not over yet. Empty drop for Dino. Good lobber aim from Taps is going to put him onto the final form. It's a lobber for Dino. Taps needs this lobber to not finish off Mutoid, but it does. Dino is going to take this by the skin of his teeth and take it 3-0 over Taps. What a finish.
The sabotage.
The sabotage. Absolutely, cards. I think if Taps did not get sabotaged there, he definitely would have taken that game. Those lobbers on the feet, not the worst weapon to have there, but when you're pounding in the spreader, you still have the green on the invulnerability. It feels bad, man.
It really does. And Mr. Dino, once again, all 3 games, gets the better Mutoid Man luck. Tapatio, that whole match, I'm going to tell you right now, did absolutely nothing wrong. He just got RNG'd to death and then some.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, Cards. We were predicting this one to go 5, but no one can predict the luck of this game.